What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? But they've been living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape.
Good morning, my little coffee beans, and hopefully you've brewed you an extra special stout pot of coffee this morning because, well, we're going to be talking about Seth the Programmer. And I'll just be real brutal and honest with you. This is not, we covered this last night on Dave, but Keem's live stream cover and everything was going on. Of course, he had Seth the Programmer, and I think almost all of the vested parties in the whole story on there. So it was kind of difficult because we didn't know one had timestamps, no one had nothing. Well, we've got some timestamps this morning. We've got some clips and segments of some of the more hard-hitting stuff or whatever. But so we're going to go through some of this stuff. I'm first and foremost, before we get into this, I'm going to say this: I'm not a joke policeman. I don't police jokes. I don't police edgy content. I don't police any of that stuff. If people want to, make edgy content, if they want to make off-color jokes, if they want to make, if they want to make jokes that are racially charged, if they want to make jokes that are bigoted in ways, whatever, I don't care. That's not my job or responsibility. Doesn't mean I'll listen to the crap, doesn't mean that I enjoy it or will support the person that's doing it. But I do fully support the right to say the things, right? It's just no different. It's just no different from somebody getting up on a soapbox and yelling and screaming about this, that, whatever. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine. Just walk away. Yeah, if it's someone on the internet, Alt F4, click on the little red X up in the top right corner. Go to a different channel on YouTube, whatever medium it is that you're consuming, whatever. If it's not your cup of tea, move on. I don't subscribe to this whole cancel culture. I don't subscribe to this. Well, I don't agree with it or I don't like it, so we must have it removed. Well, no, because the problem with that is that if all of a sudden there is something that is important to you, there is something that you're not allowed to have a voice. You're not allowed to talk about it. And it doesn't matter if you deem it socially acceptable. It doesn't matter if you deem it pertinent to society and that all society should get behind it and support it. That's that's the great thing about freedom of speech, right? Is you get to voice your views and opinions. Now, just because you get to voice your views and opinions doesn't mean that you are entitled for people to listen and to agree with you. Let's just let's just get that right off and on the table and get that out there so that people understand exactly what my stances are and where I've come from when this kind of stuff, right? Now, that being said, everything that I have listened to and heard last night on Dave's stream, because we had Bo Black's over there talking about it. We had Willie Mack talking about it. We had Matt Pitt, Dave, and Nerdy John. Nerdy John, he was even in. And, Willie Mack had watched some of these guys' videos back in the day because evidently Willie Mack loves, what is that cartoon that these guys, Dragon Ball Z, I think it was, or whatever, right? I don't know. Guys, do I look like the type of guy that watches Japanese cartoons and animations? Huh? Do I? No. The closest I ever came was way back in the day when they ported the original Transformer cartoons over to the U.S. I did watch them. I did enjoy them. What was there was another one where it was a port as well, and they would fly the different little vehicles and they'd all come in together and form into like this big giant robot. I watched a few episodes of that when I was younger, but that was it. Okay. So it's just not something that I consume. I don't care anything about it. But this guy, Seth the Programmer, I believe that's his name, right? See, that's how vested I am in this, right? Can't even remember this idiot's name. And I don't say this flippantly, and I don't say this lightly, but he needs Jesus. He needs some Jesus in his life. Good Lord. All right, so let's have some fun, a little bit of whatever, and then let's just Gundam. Yeah, that might have been it, Nick. Gundam. That sounds about right. So, of course, everybody, it is it's Groundhog Day, and so the Groundhog's out here on his Reddit, probably out there on the Reddit, right? And it says, "If I see my shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. Unacceptable. We must rise up against the sun. Who is with me?" Yep. So he's out here. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. banned from Twitter. Yeah, he's out here trying to start a coup. The groundhog is out here starting a coup. I can tell you something right now. Oh, if they brought old Punts, what's his name, Punts Tilly Phil or whatever his name is, if they brought his old, I think that one, I think he passed away though. That groundhog passed away. Punts. Anyway, whatever the name of the current groundhog, if he was to come here where I'm at, there'd be no shadows being seen today. There will be no sun. Um, Here's just a little tidbit or whatever about what Groundhog Day and the origins of it is. It says as early as 1886, German immigrants here observed Groundhog Day and established the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club in 1889. I'm sorry, 1899. According to folklore, if the hibernating groundhog known as Punxsutawney Phil leaves its burrow on February the 2nd and sees its shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. The legend is based on a European custom of predicting the length of winter by weather conditions on Candlemas, an ancient Christian festival. So there you go. There you go. So that's the history and origin. So we have done something good today, and maybe a little bit of education. Um, so you know, maybe this whole day or whatever is not completely and totally going to be just absolute brainworms. But I think my buddy Abba says it the best I've ever heard it said, and this is what Abba has to say.
This is a sickness of the highest order. Eh?
Exactly. This is a sickness of the highest order. And real quick, if you're not watching Abba and Preach, if you're sleeping on these two guys, do yourself a huge favor and go check out Abba and Preach. Okay, so Keemstar fired up a little stream yesterday. Had a couple of viewers, just about 13,495 peak concurrent viewers. 13,000, folks. I think prior to this, I think the highest viewers he ever had occurred was maybe around, I'm gonna say 12 to 1,300. So it's only about tenfold here on this one story. Yeah. Had 117,884 views. He had 52,344. I'm sorry. 52,344. Hang on. This is hours. So that's seconds, minutes, hours. Okay, so 52,344 hours, 31 minutes, and 5 seconds of watch time. I'd get it right in a second. I'm a little bit slow. Coffee's not fully perking here, guys. Give me a little bit of a yeah. His chat rate was 250. His chat was insane. And Keem, I don't know if you watch my podcasts. Dude, you've got to get some mods in your chat, and you have to invoke slow mode. That chat was literally melting down last night. You couldn't see anything. It was a wild, chaotic West in there. You've got to get some mods, dude. You have to. The average view duration was 26 minutes and 38 seconds. The entire stream was 6 hours, 45 minutes, and 40 seconds. And it says 2.2K in super chats. Now, I don't know if he's also still doing like Stream Elements or Streamlabs or anything like that as far as donation links there, if it's strictly all through the YouTube or what, I don't know. But this was just super chat donations that he received during the stream. So, and I know, $2,000 to Keem is nothing, but to this old man, that's a pretty nice paycheck for a 7-hour work day. Just saying. All right. So yesterday, um, is this thing blowed up? Okay. So yesterday, Keemstar tweeted out anime YouTuber SethTheProgrammer has been accused of lying, stealing money, recording friends without permission, sexual harassment, manipulative behavior, grooming minors, of course, the dreaded P word, right? And 15 other things in a 3-hour exposed video. Okay. Um, so he tweeted this out yesterday morning at a little after 7 o'clock in the morning. And this was I'm not for sure where this clip came from, but this clip here, I'm going to warn you right now, guys. If you have a weak stomach, if you, and I know it's early in the morning, and this is honestly stuff we probably should never, ever, ever have to be talking about. The biggest sin what he did was he recorded his friends, right, Nick? Right? I mean, that's pretty heinous, right? How dare you record your friends? But anyway, I'm going to warn you. This involves feces, and so if you are weak stomached and you don't want to hear it, um, give me. I'm fixing to play it, and as soon as you see this go off the stream, you can unmute, and you'll know that it'll be okay. And I'm going to play it in 3, 2, 1.
Would I risk my whole YouTube channel and then also risk all that money and free promotion from him if I wasn't actually in a fucked up situation? So yeah, don't feel bad. Like the chat's with you.
Yeah, so one of his main moderators, I don't want to say their name, but just because in case they're online and stuff still, I was pretty good friends with him, and yeah, basically he did make him eat poo-poo and record it for a high position of mod. There was a video linked around, I don't know if it still exists, but yeah.
Okay. So hopefully if you guys have muted you now so you can come back on. And anyway, so anyway, that was one of the allegations and stuff that was put out during all this. During the stream, he was confronted because he did call into Keemstar's stream last night. I think Keem had everybody in this stream. I think there may have been one person that was part of this whole thing that may possibly didn't. And even the guy that made the original 3-hour exposed video. Now the original 3-hour exposed video, I'm going to chalk it up to a guy who I guess had reached his breaking point in his relationship with this Seth guy and had enough, and he just let the floodgates out because he talks about everything under the sun. He talks about his childhood. He talks about abuse that he was subjected to, back when he was a youngster by his parents and what have you. I have not watched the 3-hour video, nor am I going to. I just, quite honestly, I'm gonna go through this stuff that we have lined up here this morning, and I hope to never ever talk about this shit again. Because this is one of these deals where typically more, I wouldn't talk about this because we've got allegations in here of sexual harassment, like I said, grooming, and the dreaded P word. And I normally wouldn't cover this type of stuff because guess what? No one has went to the police. Nobody has filed any type of complaints with law enforcement for there to be pursued or anything like that, right? So all we had at this point was just some allegations. So I wasn't going to cover it, had no intentions to cover it, nothing. But then Seth, the programmer, being the mental giant that he is, gets into this call, right? This Discord call, this show that Keemstar put on last night, and denied, and then admitted, and denied, and then admitted. I think on pretty much every one of the allegations that was put forth in Keemstar's original tweet. They confronted this man, and he denied and protested and made edgy comments and edgy jokes in the chat. He made edgy comments and stuff while he was talking to Keemstar, and then ultimately even to the where he says that the mod that that did the act involving feces, he said, well, I didn't make him do it. He did it, so yeah, I gave him mod. Okay, he didn't make him, but here should have been the follow-up question that was not asked was, did you tell him if he would do it, he would get mod? I understand you didn't go to this person's house, you didn't twist his arm, you didn't put some sort of weapon at his throat or to his head or whatever and say, hey, do this. I understand you didn't force him to it. I understand you didn't make him do it or she do it. I'm not for sure of the gender or whatever of the person. I understand you didn't make this person do it. You didn't force them to do it. But see, that's the thing that kind of really just kind of torques me a little bit, is there are so many of these creators out here that have such a powerful influence over their viewer base, right? Their watchers, the people, their fans, or whatever you want to call them, right? And they like to abuse them in the sense that they make them do these outlandish, crazy stuff for their entertainment and joy. That's sick. That is so twisted and sick. I guess because I'm not a sick and twisted person, I don't understand how somebody could do this type of stuff to people, how they could be that cruel and then get enjoyment from it. And what's even worse is they will have these yes people around them that laughs and encourages this kind of shit. And it just, I don't know. It's cult. It is cult-like. It's, these cult leaders that get these followers and stuff, and these followers hang on everything that they say and everything that they do. And if the cult leader says, do this, whatever, they do it. No questions asked. And it's just, I don't know. All right. So let's get through and let's listen to some of these clips and let's just get it over with. So buckle up, buttercups. Here we go.
Say shit like that just to make him mad. Like when I send messages like I should be able to throat fuck a 4-year-old or whatever, it was literally just like shock value humor because I was growing up. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't. That was it.
Whoa.
Seth, wait, two things. One, Keem, can the chat see what Seth just put in the chat here?
They cannot. What is it?
Yeah.
Have you seen what he
Oh.
said? He's literally putting this in the chat. It's something.
Okay, guys, I don't know if you can read that on screen because it is kind of tiny, right? So he's sitting there talking about when he was a kid and he was growing up. This is Seth talking, mind you, that he would say edgy content. He would say, things like this, right? And then in the live chat, he puts up there, I should be able to throat F a 4-year-old until they cry.
Okay.
Yep.
I
You can
should
put it on screen. Go ahead.
All right. So Seth, the one being accused of every crime a YouTuber has ever done, got outed for basically saying what you are reading on screen right now. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you made
And that shit I would say to. Yeah.
You made a very,
that shit I was saying.
very edgy joke.
Yes. And not only that, but I was also a debater, right? So
Bro,
it's a debate argument community. So, and I had videos of me arguing with people on this. But not only is it like for shock value, but it's also to try to like get people to argue with me about it.
Hold up a minute.
I mentioned this earlier in the stream.
Wait. I just want to ask, Seth, I need to know this because it's eating away at my head. Did you make somebody eat poop for Discord mod in your server?
Okay. Now let me. Okay.
Can we hold on?
Remember, I said I wasn't going to police edgy humor, edgy content, but y'all, after this stream, after all that this man admitted to and stuff, I'll just say if people continue to watch him, and support him, I think it says more about them than it does him. That's all I'll say.
Category, and you guys just have hearsay bullshit.
No,
He said, she said. I don't believe you about the screenshot. The screenshot has to mean this. I don't give a fuck about context. You're a pedophile. Fuck you. You're just ignoring everything I fucking say and then repeating yourself to entertain a new audience. You don't have fucking shit on me.
Can you let
category?
That was right there was a perfect example of what probably the vast majority of that stream was. A lot of shouting, yelling, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And eventually Seth admitting, I did this. Yeah, I did that. So what? I was just being edgy. I was just making jokes. I was just trying to, get them to respond. It's just debate, bro. It's just debate. Oh, hang on a second here. Hey, Tommy, how you doing this morning?
Hi, I'm calling in because I finally just woke up an hour ago, and I apparently I did not get the whole story. Did he really made somebody eat poop?
Yes, he did. He admitted
Yeah.
to it. Says, well, okay. Here's what he said. Let me just be clear.
Okay.
He says, I didn't force them to do this. It's like I said, it's okay. So yeah, he didn't go to the person's house. He didn't twist their arms. He didn't put some sort of weapon to their head and make them do it. Right.
Yeah. It's not really a good excuse.
No, it's not. It's not.
But I tell you what, I do maintain with this shit. This was like, and I think I said this last night. I wish I could have not been sick because I only seem to be not sick in the morning and I get sick at night.
Yeah.
I really wish I could have elaborated this and eventually gone on about the deep fake porn because it's just we seem to have a wave of pearl clutching. It is beyond obvious that these guys knew who this guy was, were perfectly willing to work with him until they weren't.
Exactly.
And that's like I cannot get upset about any of this stuff. They're anime jerk offs and they're acting like disgusting anime jerk offs. And I'm supposed to be mad at this one anime jerk off. Like, oh, get the fuck out of here. I mean, what would surprise you if one of these people, his accusers, turned out to be the next degenerate of the week? That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, it's not even like. And then some of the things they accused him of, like this. I'm sorry, the little comment he made about throat fucking a 4-year-old is not any different than anything James Gunn did. And like the James, and it's so similar to the James Gunn cancellation. It's an indefensible statement, but that is the joke in itself.
Yeah.
Unless you can show me a pattern of throat fucking 4-year-olds, I don't think that really counts. And I think it's just people picking it from a hat. And apparently it was said, years ago?
Well, yeah, but he said it again, I guess, in Keemstar's stream.
So what?
Well, yeah. Like I said, but good in my stream, I am not the joke police, right? I'm not going to sit here and say a person can make whatever jokes they want. It could be the most vilest, it could be the most racist, bigoted. I don't care. Doesn't mean I have to watch that person. Doesn't mean I have. No.
It also doesn't mean he's a pedophile.
No, it doesn't.
That's my point. But that's how it's being used. Yeah. You don't have to lie. I don't think anybody's trying to tell you to like this shit. I mean, I've been saying the same things to these. Deepfake. I don't expect Pokimane to like this stuff. Nobody's making it. That's a goddamn red herring. Because nobody's trying to make that argument. What they're trying to make the argument is that Deepfake guy is a complete cuck, and he is. But that's another story for another time. No, they're trying to say this is not what it appears to be. I don't think they other than I guess the poop eating, which really doesn't have much to do with pedophilia. They really haven't proved that he had pedophilic tendencies. That was the accusation. And I don't know, I'm old-fashioned. I think language means something. I think when you have pedophilic behavior, you have to have it. And it can't be just a fucking random joke taken out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know? And here's another thing. He did say this and thing. He said, I think a lot of people are confused by the debate club thing or the debate group. Okay, what you do in these debate groups, like Destiny did it with the ethical child porn thing, right?
Yes.
You say something so outrageous, indefensible, and you try to defend it.
Yes.
Right? To sharpen your debate skills. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly what they're doing. They're probably just using that excuse to say, just to be completely disgusting. But I'm sorry, that doesn't pose a danger to children. It just means you're a creep.
Well, like I said, I haven't watched the entire stream because it's 7 hours long, right?
I really should have.
Yeah, but
I really shouldn't have streamed. I should have went with my gut and streamed about the other asshole.
I do think that he does end this stream with King because, like I said, they really hit him hard, and I believe he basically admitted to hitting up. And I don't know how old he was at the time, so I don't know the age gap, right? The girl could have been 16, 17. He could have been 19, right? I don't know what the age gaps was. Let me just preference that.
Yeah.
But he did ask for an underage girl to send him nudes. Now, when I say underage, I'm talking like an under 18-year-old girl. So she could have been 16. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the age gap is. I don't know if he was 19 or 17 at the time because I haven't watched the entire 7-hour stream. So
I gotcha. I said I smelled fucking dirt, and then I guess I knew something happened like that.
Yeah.
Because I smelled dirt. I got sick. I went to bed, and then I'm told, "Oh, you got something." I think you're probably going to find out he admitted to that. Yeah. But even then, in principle, I'm all right. So he's a creep, and in principle, and I'm right. But apparently, a lot of this stuff came out years ago. And they just finally got it to stick.
Yeah.
So I'm not terribly impressed with that. You're willing to, be this guy's buddy up until recently. So, what a shock. What I said in my stream was correct. What I said in my stream was correct. They're all garbage. Big shocking thing right there.
Yeah.
We get a timestamp? I'd love to watch that with you.
Watch what?
I did him admit to that.
Oh, the underage stuff? I don't let's see here.
You get a chat timestamp in the chat? Anybody know?
Yeah.
Because the only thing I got, it must have kept going because I get a message from Matt and he's like, the poop's real.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So I have some clips here. Let me do this, Tom.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see if we can do this. Can you put it on? Yeah, share a screen, man. I'd love to know.
Okay, so according to this is clips because this is coming from a Twitter user Panda. It says Seth publicly admitted that he's a pedophile on Keemstar's live stream. So let's watch these
Okay.
There's two different clips here.
Make
Publicly,
bait for
I guarantee that. Well, first of all, I want to start this off by I guarantee he doesn't admit he's a pedophile. Whether he is or not is different. But I guarantee what we're about to hear, he does not admit. He doesn't say I am a pedophile or I slept with somebody that's so underage that a qualifies pedophile. Let's listen.
Let's listen to what this says here.
Make bait
False title.
for him. Like I don't have these old
No,
ass.
no, wait a second. Wait a second. Listen to me. No. Because I didn't know this existed. I didn't know this. Bro.
Oh wow.
This girl just said that she didn't want to send you nudes because she didn't feel comfortable. And your response to that would be, haha, it'd be just between us.
Exactly.
How are you?
Oh well, they got him left to right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him dead right, but I think my point still stands. They still screwed him, and in this, they threw enough shit against the wall and something stuck. All right, so who is the girl? What do we know about the girl?
This is so blurry, Tommy. I wouldn't want to send my body to somebody who wasn't my partner, and something my body has. Yeah,
but that doesn't tell. How old is she?
It doesn't say. I don't see. That's the thing with these clips, right? God,
so all we know here is he tried to manipulate moods with somebody that wasn't particularly willing. That's all we have here so far.
So
really,
here's another. So here's another clip.
What are you talking about, bro?
That's not what I was saying.
That's the one that ate the poop, according to Nick. Really?
Really? I don't know about Nick. I think Nick Curse is kind of trolly. So
okay, all right, okay.
But no, there was a mod that he admitted that the person. I think I don't know.
So he's definitely a total degenerate.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like everybody's saying I'm wrong on this. Like, how could he could totally be a degenerate, and these guys could have fucking planned this. I mean, and in a dishonest way. I mean, both could be true.
It's like I said. It's almost like these YouTubers, right? They have this huge following. They have these yes people around them, right? And they're all on board, and they're okay with the person that ate the poop to get the mod ship. I mean, they're laughing, encouraging, and all that kind of stuff, right? They're okay with everything that he's doing. They're all aware of it, evidently.
Until he made it.
And all of a sudden, now we've decided, he went too far. He went one toke over the line, sweet Jesus, and now he
probably and something hurt them. They wanted something from him that he wouldn't give, or he did something to them that they felt slighted. So it's all good until you get in the way of my YouTube career. Which, by the way, that's something I've been teaching on my channel. I mean, I've even seen it like the 100, 200, 500, 1,000 sub level. Yeah. Like people will do this. I've seen this at the very kind of bottom ranks. YouTube drama is like automatically sort of generated. It happens everywhere. It's not all just like top level Keemstar stuff. It's at all level. Actually, you saw it with I think the most recent example would be with Crowder and Daily Wire. That was just a YouTube move. So you see it kind of at all levels. So okay, yeah. So I mean, all right. So the guy's just like a slimy scumbag. And his friends are a bunch of slimy scumbags too.
My gut tells me, Tommy, this is one or two things was a catalyst for this whole, airing out of the dirty laundry. Either they wanted something as far as some sort of a clout, suck off of him to where they wanted him to. They wanted him to.
Like they just wanted to hurt him because he's a bastard.
Or B,
that's what it really looks
money.
like.
It's money, either money or clout.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it could be something as simple as we hate this bastard. We hope he dies and goes away.
Yeah.
And then all the other stuff is kind of a bonus. I don't know. It could be just something they just don't like him. He really sounds like a disgusting individual.
Yeah.
He's not a. Yeah, but usually when you're a disgusting individual, you have more subs than everybody else, and apparently he was the first one on the boat. There's a lot of bad behavior to be tolerated. One of the things that really got me about this guy, Seth, right off the bat, and I shouldn't. Now that I'm kind of mad at myself, I shouldn't be too surprised that he would. I shouldn't be too surprised that he was that he would actually confess to something or something popped up like this. How remarkably calm he was about it. Like like engaging in this stuff. He didn't seem particularly angry at first. He didn't seem particularly even mildly stressed about being called a. The first thing out of my mouth is like, hey, Keem, you just wrote, I've been accused of sexually assaulting somebody. Who might that be, asshole?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even mildly upset. So he's a creep. Yeah, I got it. So he probably did some of this. So he did some of this stuff, and he didn't do some of this stuff because it was exaggerated, or exaggerated in a way to make it seem worse than it was.
Okay. So what my chat is saying, and some of the more reliable people, they're saying she was 16 and he was either 20 or 21 at the time.
Yeah, I don't know if that's pedophilia, but it's definitely fucking gross.
Well, no, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah. It was definitely illegal. I mean, if you're sending nudes across state lines, that's federal. It doesn't matter what the age of consent is in the state.
Yeah, it is.
It's a federal thing.
Well, I mean, and what's illegal doesn't necessarily mean something's immoral. But yeah, that's definitely fucking what's the matter with you.
Jordan Soar says she didn't send him anybody asked. Okay, all right. If he asked and she didn't send, I'm sorry.
She didn't send him any, but he asked. There's no crime.
There's no crime
in that case.
It's
he's a creep. I think we've established this guy's a creep. No one's going to get an argument with you. I just don't. I'm just not particularly buying like this. All these guys trying to be heroes.
Yeah.
And the same way I didn't buy the Nick's Cash thing back then. Yeah. Like, I'm coming to you to Leafy because he didn't pay. No, he didn't get paid. Give me a break. That's why I'm not really buying any of this. Yeah. According to Seth, he didn't grow up on the internet. He was outgoing, which makes but he can handle these social situations. I don't know. That sounds like the kind of the horse shit that he was trying to shovel. None of that matters. It matters if he did, he didn't. It matters how old they were. The facts matter, not this emotional stuff. Like, all right, he didn't grow up on the internet. That's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know who this cat was until yesterday, and I'm gonna do everything I can to forget this cat when I get through talking about this today. That's how much I give about this. 0.
Well, that's the thing about doing this fucking podcast of yours. You can't. I mean, this is almost. It's something I've been, sick of for the better part almost 3 years now. Yeah. I mean, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
And they're always going to do it because it's the quickest way to cancel somebody. It's an effective way to cancel somebody. So I mean, that's all it is.
And like I said, I did not. I have a policy. I won't cover this kind of stuff unless there's someone actually went to law enforcement, there's been criminal charges filed, and we can look at.
Well, none of that's going to happen.
But the only codicil I was okay, fine. From everything that I've seen, everything that I've heard, people that I trust has come to. The guy basically admitted to everything but stealing the Lindbergh baby on this call last night. So I'm like, okay, so if he's admitting to this shit, all right, we'll talk about it. He's not denying.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not. I'd like to know exactly what he admitted to, and what way, because like I said, everything from this has been exaggerated from the beginning. I think the guy I had on Izzy last night, he even admitted that some of this was exaggerated. And honestly, they could have got a KO a lot quicker than 7 hours had those little coward Noodles and I guess Clyde just stayed on the line.
Yeah.
And so like they pulled this sort of like, I can't be in the same room with them. Oh, fuck you. That's it's you kind of smell a rat there. And I think these guys, more than likely, and I bet if I did some research on it, they were pretty much okay with his behavior from day one.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know that was it. Clyde which was the dude that made the 3-hour expose video, right? And that 3-hour video over.
Sure, that was necessary. You couldn't just get to the fucking point,
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah. But it's like Willie was talking about this last night on Dave's stream. Like over half to 3/4 of the video is Clyde talking about how he had a horrible childhood and how he was.
Yeah. Can you imagine watching that?
What does that have to do with the horrible shit that this guy may or may not have done?
Yeah, it's emotional arguments, and they probably seem more fun. What always amazes me, and I wonder if is like I saw this a little bit with who is that artist that everybody hated? The girl. What was her name?
Artist?
Yeah. She used to draw everybody.
Yeah, I know.
I remember this kind of reminds me of that situation a little bit too. This kind of reminds me of that situation a bit too.
Show art?
There was so much, creep show art. The video they made against her.
Yeah.
There was so much bullshit personal stuff in the allegations against her that I remember it being very difficult, if not impossible, to just ever get to the fucking point. But you know what? It kind of worked either way. When you say something like, this is an emotional manipulation or something like that, well, without even knowing what emotional manipulation means in this particular case, and then you have all these people that are just looking to pro clutch. And I think what Clyde did is I think he hit the people algorithm, the stupid people algorithm, probably right at the perfect time. And then this guy decides to self-modulate on Keemstar's show. So all you have to do is shut up. And I tell you, kids, if you want to get away with crimes, never admit anything, never talk. That's it. There's your. If he just kept his fucking mouth shut. He probably would have been fine.
If you got a second, I'd like to get your opinion on something else that's totally
a lot of people
to do with this. You know about Ethan Klein and him laughing at
yes. Yes, laughing at these people that are pretending. Ah, shit! I fell down the stairs.
God, are you okay?
I grabbed myself on the way up. I slipped on something. Ah, damn!
Jesus, Tommy.
My cat is terrified.
Jesus.
God, that was.
I swear.
I caught myself. Dave's fucking not sure. Why do you think I got mad at him when he ran after that crook?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I was like, Dave,
that was stupid.
You're not Batman,
that was
dude.
Stupid. Yeah, I think when the old soldier got fucking kicked in the gear.
100%. It was training. It was 100% training. Just reacting, and so.
Yeah, that's all it was. But you can't. I'd have let the fucker go. If I was a Dave, like you guys, most of you guys haven't stood next to Dave. I have. Yeah. If you saw him, you'd be like, like everybody's like, "Whoa, Dave, you're a badass," and he was.
Yeah.
But if you would have stood next to Dave at any point in your life, you'd have been like, Dave, you're an idiot. Yeah. But go ahead. Yeah, let's talk about the girls that are pretending to have been raped by deepfake porn. Yeah, I'd love to hear this.
Okay, so on the podcast the other day, Ethan and some of his cronies were laughing at QT Cinderella because she was crying because of the deepfake stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, he's getting a little bit of a blowback or whatever.
Good.
Right?
Good.
Okay.
Jordan Peterson was right again.
So he goes home and gets in his closet like Augie used to do, right? And he makes this apology video. And so about halfway through the apology video, he has this to say. And and when I showed this to Dave and the guys last night, they lost their minds. And I have an idea you haven't seen this either, right?
I haven't seen it. You're getting me for the first time. Let's see this. Go ahead.
Right, here we go.
My wife included was saying, "Is this a Tourette's thing? I have Tourette's syndrome."
I can still do it. I'll whip it out when I need to. Is that it?
Well, no. He goes on to basically show how he looked up on WebMD or whatever what Tourette's is, and everything he's trying to say, justify whatever. Because well, I feel like it's kind of a cop out, but this is the case,
God,
and maybe there's something there, and.
How about this, Ethan? Jordan Peterson was right. He was right. And you know what? What that woman was doing was objectively funny. It was a funny overreaction.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that really gets me about this case in general. Like, I saw Keffel's, if you don't understand, if you men think it's okay to have deep take porn and not understand, it's another emotional argument, how this hurts somebody. I don't know if that's what everybody's laughing at. What everybody's laughing at is, first of all, this guy's absolutely undignified and insincere apology, right? With the verse was making fun of me. He says, "You say the guy's name wrong." Hold on, I got to look it up. He said, "Don't be like Riverter. I'm going to help you out. I got a call today about you." Atrioc. Okay, yeah, I literally got a call. I literally got a call today. Don't be like Riverter. Say it, Atrioc, and he phonetically spelled it for me. So what's funny about this situation? Right? What's funny about this situation is like when I turn my nose up about at these women that are literally pretending they're being raped. They're not. It's kind of a spit in the face to rape victims. and they're really just using this to push, like, this is the new fucking Twitch gambling thing. Gambling's bad for kids. You know, this is now this stuff. Now, that being said, deepfake porn is a rotten thing to do, especially if it's somebody you know. I don't think anybody's making that argument, right? Except maybe Vito. All right, Vito seems to be making that argument. What's funny about this is that these women, public figures, feel entitled not to be mocked, goofed on, and fucking treated just like, I don't know how Keemstar's been treated, fucking a railroad and a car for the last 5 years. Going back, I have seen tons of political cartoons, really evil ones, where people are drawn and compromising sexual situations and things of that nature. And the new paintbrush is deepfake. So it's just like this. Is deepfake rotten? Yes. Does deepfake make you feel like crap? Yes. I'm sorry. I can't get upset about fucking Pokemon getting deepfaked. Sorry. Sounds like the price of fame. And then I have this guy with his wife standing over him, and it looked like, especially with her glasses and shit, it was just this humiliating self-immodulation septicoo, and it was funny to look at. And what Ethan is talking about, I know why he laughed at that girl, because it's fucking funny. It's funny, the overreaction. Yes, I could get why you're a woman, or a man, by the way, and you got put in deepfake porn, and that made you feel uncomfortable. It is a really lousy thing to do. But I also think it's the price of being a public figure. Now, this particular opinion I have for regular folks, really, if you're deepfaking like your neighbor, your friends, and stuff like that, you're a little sick, degenerate fuck, okay? By the way, the people that deepfake Pokemon, they may be up for a lawsuit coming up. Good. Fuck them. It's definitely rotten. But my problem is the overreaction to this. The overreaction has been comical. It's a moral panic. It's not even a discussion about anything. It's hysterical. This is the downside of being a public female figure, and it could just be easily go for men. And I get to tell you something else. Just like prison rape, it's usually funny because it's men. If someone is going to get deep-faked being fucked in the ass, I guarantee you that's comical. But for some reason, women get a different standard, and that's horse shit, and I think everybody knows it.
You know, these, quote, deep fakes or whatever have been around, I mean, for crying out loud, when I was a kid, before there was the internet, before there were computers.
Yeah.
This is not anything new, right? The only difference is that because
the tech is new. The tech is new.
Yes. And not only that, right, but with the invention of, the internet, and with people being able to get on there and do streams and things like that, right? They're just in front of people a lot more, like Pokemon, yourself, me, whoever else that does shows, streams, what have you. And we're there, right? And so it happens, and it's just part of, it's not right.
It is a part of being a public figure.
Yes.
It is a lousy fucking thing to do. And by the way, I think Atrioc owed all those women an absolute public apology. Sure, I think he owed them a private apology. Yeah. My problem was the emasculating way in which he apologized, which was completely unnecessary. By the way, this is how you do it, okay? Because the best one I found was like, for all you supporters, fuck you. I was wrong. Oh, come on. Get off the cross. We need the wood. All right.
Yeah.
Well, here's how you could have done. Here's how you could have done the apology and condensed it. I want to apologize to all my work colleagues for embarrassing them like I've embarrassed myself. I couldn't feel worse about what I've done. And I could understand why my friends, my trusted friends, have lost trust in me after they've seen what was on my computer. All I can say to them is, I am human and I am flawed, and I only could hope that you would accept my most sincere apology. For those who continue to support me, all I can say to you is that I am wrong. I'm absolutely wrong in every way, and I do feel sorry for what I've done and what I've done to my friends. And I don't think this is really cool. Thank you for your support, but again, I am wrong. Atrioc. That's it. You didn't have to self-immodulate, and then you get to keep all your dignity. So Nick writes me back, and he says, "Well, that doesn't get you to keep you in the Christmas club." Well, the point of apology isn't Nick, Mr. Optics, right? Yeah. The point of apology, I'm old-fashioned, is apology.
Sure.
It's not to stay in the fucking Christmas club.
Yeah.
So get this. Not only is him telling everybody he's afforded him to fuck off, not only did he completely cuck himself out, he doesn't even mean the apology. He doesn't give a shit that he winked one out to Pokimane. I don't care either, by the way. It's a big shock there. I mean, it's all about staying in the club, so it's completely insincere. Good. I hope they eat him alive. I hope the standard, the woke, wild, I don't know, purity test standard they have. I'm glad it's coming for them. I'm glad he's been eaten alive. I hope his career is ruined. Absolutely, from the top down, ruin your career. Die in internet death, right? And I think it's a fucking wonderful thing that people like this that don't have any forgiveness for anyone when they fuck up, and this is a fuck up, can never even begin to figure for themselves because they bought into this woke ideology. Good, it's wonderful. I think it's working. It's working. There's my opinion.
And I can even be sympathetic to his wife. I mean, considering they'd only been married like 6 months. Why is my husband out here yanking it to his co-workers? We've been married for 6 months. Is my shit that old already? I mean,
no, yes, but if she knew anything about men, everybody's old. I
understand that, but
yeah, and you know what? That's like, I can understand. That goes back to what I was saying before. Like, I get why she's been humiliated. All right, she's been humiliated because am I good enough for him? There was still a much better way to fucking handle this.
Oh, yeah.
For her. Look at the difference between Dr. Disrespect handled his fucking thing. Yes. He was, and that it was a lot more. One of them, not all of it, but most of it was pretty dignified. And by the way, they stayed together and they stayed together for his daughter and what have you.
Yeah.
This is a massive screw up for your marriage. This is massive. But you know what? People are human. And as much as women like to think when guys sleep with them that they're fucking locked mentally and they're not. Their penises want other things, and it never goes away. It never goes away. If you want to have a good relationship with your man, right, know that he's a fucking animal. What, you don't think about other women? You don't think about other women? Give me a fucking break. Yeah. You think my wife knows that I don't think about other women? Of course I do. Here's the difference. Difference. I don't do anything about it. That's the thing. That's the promise you keep. Right. You don't get to become something less than human. You don't get to turn to Atrioc, right, and become a half man. You just say no, and you don't put yourself in a position, and that's being honor and true. But it doesn't mean you don't want pussy anymore. Let's not pretend. And how simple of a woman would you have to be to come to that conclusion?
Even a man of my advanced age. I mean, there's only.
I guarantee you see a 20-year-old broad guy. God damn, I'd like to see her tits. Like, it goes away.
Yeah,
come on.
No. I mean, I'm definitely not. I don't go to to gentlemen clubs or anything like that anymore. But
but if you see a girl, I don't do that either. But I see an attractive 20-year-old woman on a bus. I'm like, damn. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not going to sit there and pretend that I'm anything other than human. I'm not going to be like Atrioc. Yeah. He's pretending he's not human. If he just came in and said, "I'm human and I'm sorry," and I can't believe I broke my friend's trust, and I get it, and I'm gonna take a break for a while. But you just know that I'm human and know that I can change and know that this is never going to happen again. I'm not going to look at porn, even though it's fucking a lie. But you could do that route. Instead, he criticized anybody that kind of just wanted to forgive him. Since when do we live in a society like there's no? I mean, God, Jesus Christ, I don't consider myself a practicing Christian, and I'm starting to get to the point. I'm kind of an atheist that I think we should go back to Christianity because as the United States moves away from it, as the world, nobody forgives anything.
Yeah,
everything is permanent and done, and there's no road to redemption. There's nothing. There is nothing, and I really wonder if that has something to do with religion being evaporated. And then everybody has to wear a scarlet leather, not just women. Everybody wears the scarlet letter now. I just can't believe it.
Yeah. I don't know. As far as the whole, I do think there are some attributes about Christianity that we would all do better off if we adhered to it, right? But there, as someone who grew up in a very strict, Southern Baptist, there's also some teachings that I'm like, no, I'm not okay with that. I'm not.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I
so,
got you. But well, you know what? In a lot of these religions, and I could even say this as somebody who grew up a Catholic, the whole point of forgiveness is like which is the biggest teaching and most important teaching of Christ. I don't think anybody could deny that in any, whether you're Baptist or Catholic or some kind of that forgiveness is the crux. And that is the part that the churches and regular people that are like all about Jesus seem to forget and not talk about the most. The most important part of Christ to me, is the teaching of forgiveness, and it's the least used and almost the least talked about.
Well, that and we're supposed to love our fellow man, right? We're supposed to.
That's
love
where,
those around us.
That's the second one that's ignored.
Yes, that's why, they sit here. They want to cast stones, and they want to condemn people who are part of the LGBTQ community, right? Because that's an abomination. That's okay. Well, fat ass, you're sitting there eating your 6th chicken leg and your 3rd round of potatoes and gravy. Gluttony is also a problem. Okay.
Yeah, so is your fat ass.
So that's what always kind of in this whole no drinking, no dancing, no nothing, and I'm like, I just can't get on board with this stuff. It's
no, I can't get along on
There's a difference.
How about this? I can't get on board with it because it's fake. Because I don't believe it. I live down south, and I love the South and Southerners.
Sure.
I like some of the ways they do things I think are actually better.
Yeah.
Being a Yankee. But there are some stuff that it's more about judgment of your fellow man. And if you guys are truly Christians, you shouldn't be judging any fucking buddy.
No,
keep your own house in order.
It's about controlling. That's the thing. The difference.
Yes, bingo. It's control.
Religion and Christianity. Religion is man's interpretation of Christianity and how they can use to manipulate and control the people. I don't care what branch of Christianity. It could be Catholics, it could be Protestants, it could be the Methodists, the Baptists. It doesn't matter. They all have their rules, their religious rules to control people, and that's why I have zero to do with organized religions anymore. I still consider myself a Christian, and I try to do everything I can to help my fellow man.
I don't believe I'm a Christian anymore. I know it's getting a little too deep a conversation, but I do feel like I've always felt, even when I was absolutely done with religion, I've always felt that I look at Christ and yes, that is the correct way. That's the path. That's the path of being a decent person. I think you could still kind of be an atheist and say, well, if you don't believe in mysticism, right? And say, hey, you know what? Forgiveness, your fellow man, kindness, and empathy, are important traits to developing a good human, right? But I even see this trait like empathy. I've seen empathy used for evil as well. If you're not empathetic enough. The same thing we were talking about now, you are not empathetic enough for deepfake porn. No, I'm not. I'm empathetic to the point where it deserves empathy. I am empathetic for a girl that would find out there'd be deepfake, and I understand. I'm empathetic that they would be upset about this. I am not going to pretend like this is a major tragedy. Even if it causes me, even if it makes things more comfortable for me online, just by going along with the crowd. I'm not comfortable with just saying, for 100%. I'm comfortable with assigning the right amount of empathy for the situation.
Exactly.
And the right amount of empathy is, this is fucking funny. It's not very nice, but it's still fucking funny. And Ethan Klein, if you weren't such a fucking phony, you wouldn't be fucking looking for excuses why you didn't do anything wrong. And you did. That's what he's trying to do there. That's what Ethan's trying to do. See, look, I really didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And when it's so abundantly clear under his stupid fucking code, the one that Jordan Peterson talked about, you're a slave to this for the rest of your life now, that he's trying to he's looking for an out. Look, the Constitution says this. Yeah. Guess what? Because see, I'm a victim because I'm a half a retard. Yeah. That's all he's doing. And it's meaningless and it's empty, and whatever happens to Ethan is just funny to me.
I think one of the biggest things that we as a society, right? When I say society, I thought encompassing the globe, right? That we've gotten away from is personal accountability for our actions.
Sure.
We do something.
I agree with you. And that was the whole thing when I brought up this APOC. I'm not saying I wouldn't say there's no accountability involved. In fact, I gave a path. This is how to take accountability and not look like a cuck. Right?
Exactly.
And that's not what they did. And not only that, in looking like a cuck, he actually takes no accountability because the apology's insincere.
Sure, exactly. That whole
Yeah.
thing, I always felt like his apology with his wife behind her, daubing her eyes and stuff. This was not about. It was almost like the Jimmy Swaggart thing. Remember back in the day, I have sinned against you and my God, right?
Tammy Faye's Baker's makeup's running down her face, and people like me were laughing.
The whole thing is, this was a man who got caught being a man, right? It was wrong. What he did was wrong. I'm not excusing it, but rather than own up and own it as a man should own it, he was trying to say, "Hey guys, I screwed up, but listen, I still need you to do brand deals with me, and I still need you to be, I still want to get paid." And I was even with the wife. Yeah, she was upset because her husband's looking at Pokemon jerking it. Okay, but she was more concerned about what's this going to do to my paycheck, right?
In fairness to her, now I'm going to stick up for her now. Okay, I think you're gonna be a little surprised like this because I heard this. My dad explained. Remember, what's her name, Joey Buttafuoco?
Yes.
And everybody a lot of people don't remember this, but there was a lot of negativity and hate towards Mary Jo Buttafuoco. The girl, the woman that took the bullet to the face, right? And she's like, why does she walk? Why does she walk? Because it's her fucking family.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she knows her husband's a cheat.
Yeah.
she's trying to hold the goddamn family together, which by the way I think is honorable. Sure. To a point. It definitely would have tested my fucking. She's a lot stronger. Well, have you ever seen Mary Jo Buttafuoco? She's one tough old Italian bitch. Yeah. And you know what? She also came through the other end of this tragedy pretty strong. Yes, so I'm gonna stick up for his wife a little bit. Yeah, I mean, she married into this. This is what he brought to the marriage, and he's fucking undoing it I wouldn't say totally being unfaithful. He's more being a man, but his man thing, which he couldn't control, and that's what we were talking about before, control. His lack of control put their business in jeopardy. He has every right to be upset. Every right to be upset. Every right to be mad. Right. I refuse to say the Pokemon's been raped. I refuse to say that it goes just beyond what I said.
So let me clarify on my statement. She 100% had a right to be upset. She had even a right, I'll say, to feel betrayed, right? But what I'm saying is,
I didn't say. Oh boy, I didn't say that.
No. But I'm clarifying. What I'm saying is though when she showed up on this video behind him with the tears, did she have to be on camera showing tears?
No.
That's my point.
No, he needs to shut that stream down and make a separate video.
Yeah.
And honestly say that he's sorry he violated his wife's and his friend's trust, and he's going to do everything he can to build this back. That he's human being, and he was weak, and he gave into that weakness, and you saw it right on my alt tab. That's it. Goodbye. Yeah, but that doesn't get you back in the club. Nick's right, right? And that means the club is shit.
Exactly.
The club is full of garbage bags.
Well,
the club is trash. And you know what? He's so fucking deep in the matrix. He's so consumed. He cannot be removed. He can't take the red pill or the white pill. It's impossible for him that he does the only thing he can to get his end by being more phony than he already was, and he's getting eaten alive for it. And that's the wonderful thing about Ethan Klein and Atrioc fucking losing things when they buy into this stupidity, when they fucking just give up and say, yeah, it's the Matrix. I'm just gonna live in it and not dare to see any truth.
Well, I know this is coming as a big shocker to a lot of people, but because it's not like Twitch communities have had any kind of controversy about this kind of stuff in the past, right? This is all brand new stuff. No, it's not. It's the same. It's just wash.
No, it's the same thing.
It's wash, rinse,
it was again. No, it is. It is a bunch of empty oxygen thieves that have empty lives, even though they're very rich and very wealthy. But at the end of the day, they know at some level they're worthless. They know at some level they bring nothing to society, and they're surrounded by people that tell them that they do. Yeah. So what they do is the actors do this as well. We've seen it, they could take up all these fucking causes and they don't mean any of it, right? Their entire being right? They're to the time, the way they want to be viewed is not that the fact that they perform some mild form of entertainment, that they're somehow above that, that they somehow have accomplishment because of virtue, and they have nothing of the sort. So they're basically just oxygen thieves. They're clowns. They live on the internet. The clown. I'm a clown. But I'm comfortable with it. You know, I'm a clown, and I tell you I am. They're clowns, and they're just trying. They're closeted clowns, right? And this is the thing that makes them a real person, and they're going to protect it. They're going to protect it because otherwise, they're just a bunch of oxygen thief influencers blowing a bunch of fucking hot air to other people. That means they're empty. That means they're not educated. That means they're not sophisticated. Every bit of front that they put up, right, out there, the things they believe that actually got them famous and not the video game they happen to be playing at the right place at the right time when the planets aligned, right? That means it's the video game and not them. That's why they go to the virtue. And over and over again, we find out these people have no virtue, have no principle, and apologize for things they simply don't fucking care about or believe.
Yeah, they only care in virtues when they get caught, right? That's it. Until then, they're fine with just going right along status quo. So
yeah, I know. Well, and guess what? You know what the best part is? And I'm the shitbag, but you know what? I can look at fucking what you call it, Pokemon porn, and feel guilt free. Yeah. And you can't. Guilt free. It's terrible.
Anyway. Well, Tommy, listen, I really appreciate you calling in this morning, but I've got to actually get off here and get to work. So
get to work. All right. Talk to you later, bud.
Take care, buddy. Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. And everybody, that was Tommy C. Just a real couple of quick things, and we've got to really wrap it up. Big Butt Savage tipped $5. Seth the Programmer admitted to wanting to end his life. Shame he didn't go through with it. The world would seem to be better off with this sociopath gone. Yeah, in the game of Minecraft, right? Jesus. Bunny the Cat says, F you, Tommy. Well, I'm sure he appreciates you making that offer to him, Bunny. Anyway, listen, guys. I know Nerdy John is going to be doing a stream this morning where I think he's going to go over the Keemstar stream, maybe a little bit more in depth. He does seem, Nerdy John has a lot more knowledge about this part of the internet because he does does watch the anime and stuff, and so he knows a little bit more of the backlore and the history. I have an idea that the great D-Max will probably be a part of that. I know he was yesterday. So guys, let me go out there and find the stream. Make sure to check out Dead on Dave this evening. It should be Thursday with Diorio. I'm not for sure the times and all that kind of stuff, but anyway, watch, as always, watch Dave's Twitter and my Twitter, and we will get that out there as soon as we have a go on that. There's the link to Nerdy's stream. Like I said, I'll be starting here directly, but I've got to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Thanks again to Tommy for calling in this morning. I do think it made it a little bit more palatable to cover this stuff. Listen, if you're a fan of this Seth the Programmer and you guys want to, and if you want to continue supporting whatever, knock yourself out. But I personally am going to go back into obscurity and not knowing who this guy was. And anyway, with that, on that note, guys, remember, keep your powder dry, and I'll see you in the funny tapers.
Can't you see it in my face?